Beyond Scared Straight, the show we all know and love for its intense moments and characters, it follows a bunch of juvenile delinquents in crime prevention programs in prisons across the US. The idea is to give them a taste of life in jail in hopes that it'll set them straight. Unfortunately, while the prisoners and guards are extremely stern and even harsh, the show still has its fair share of spoiled kids. Let's talk about the most spoiled kids on Beyond Scared Straight. Number 5. Brandon. When these teenagers are taking on a prison tour, the majority of them are scared out of their wits because they have no idea what to expect. Not Brandon though. This kid stood out from the rest from the very start. He shouted his name during their briefing session before being put into the housing units. He refused to listen to the police and even had the balls to say that he'd beat them up were they not on authorities' territory. Brandon became aggressive and made threats, saying that he wasn't afraid of anyone and that he wouldn't hesitate to defend himself if it came down to it. The situation escalated to the point that all the other boys and their parents were made to leave, and Brandon was left with his mother and 2 policemen. His mother tried to approach him and talk some sense into him, but Brandon refused to calm down. Number 4. Chowchilla. The main girl in the program was Liana, and her offenses included shoplifting and drug possession. The amazing part is that she was only 13 years old when she first appeared on the program. The program Chowchilla followed the story of a group of female delinquents who were sent to the Valley State Women's Prison. It seemed they had a tradition there. At the very outset of the video, the prisoners give the girls a nerve-wracking welcome when they start screaming from behind the fence. When the doors open, the teens are ordered to walk on a yellow line by an intimidating prisoner known as Green Eyes. Liana leads the line as they're being instructed to stand along the fence. The girls are then handed damp towels to immediately remove their makeup. After that, they follow a yellow line to a grassy area where a big cross marks the ground. There, they are all made to stand in a circle and listen to the story of a prisoner who was beaten to death by a rival gang member. But since nobody cared, she was left out in the rain for 2 hours before her corpse was transported in a plastic bag. Talk about a warm welcome. If you're enjoying the video so far, why don't you hit that like button? Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel while you're at it too. Number 3. You think you're a gangster? 12-year-old Ashanti is the very definition of spoiled. She's gotten in trouble for fighting and being a member of a gang since she was a kid. She takes pride in being a gangster and says as much to her mother. This girl doesn't waste any time feeling sorry for her victims either. She says she feels fantastic when she fights both guys and girls. Her mother shows various letters that accuse her daughter of violence, bullying, and even disrupting school after striking an officer. Though she claimed to be a member of the gang, she denied it at first when she was charged. Eventually, though, she admitted to being a member of the Blood Gang. The fact that her young sister is also following in her footsteps only worries her parents even more. She tried to keep her cool and appeared calm at first by saying that she wasn't afraid to go to prison. That was all a facade because she started sobbing on her way to the prison cells. The angry ladies in the housing unit were constantly trying to pick on her, which was terrifying. Number 2. Coco can't close his mouth. Coco is charged with 8 crimes and has been a juvenile 12 times. What makes this even worse is the fact that he's only 15 years old. You have to hand it to him though. Coco tries his hardest to outsmart the police, but they can smell his anxiety. He even had the nerve to shoot a cop once, which resulted in him being charged with aggravated assault. He's a member of the group known as Young Brew and has the tattoos to show it off. This kid is a menace to society, and even his own mother agrees. She says that nothing, not even therapy, has worked on Coco. Coco was even once involved in a carjacking. When his mother tries to talk to him, he screams at her and walks away. Number 1. Mother is terrified of her own son. Have you ever imagined a mother being scared of her own child? With Dylan here, you don't have to. He's been verbally and physically abusing his mother and younger brother since he was 14 years old. He definitely takes the cake when it comes to spoiled kids. On one occasion, he covered his younger brother's face and mouth with his fist, almost suffocating him. He denied all allegations of domestic violence. Dylan believes that he isn't a criminal and doesn't deserve to get punished. Luckily, the Richlands Police Department was able to get the family out of the house and get the boy a tour of U.S. prisons. In the end, all you could see on his face was fear. Serves him right. That brings us to the end of our video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Which of these 5 delinquents do you think is the most spoiled? Let us know your thoughts on the show in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time.